How to hold it.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Actually, check. Check. 1, 2, 3.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to, I guess, what we can call episode 3 of this deck disaster project. In last week's video, I felt very productive. I guess largely because I had a list of things to do. They were sort of tangible and attainable goals, and my hard work, I guess, felt like it had a fairly clear path and purpose. Things are getting really complicated. We're kind of at a point, I feel like I worked really hard all weekend to get my list of things done. Tuesday morning comes, Dilly arrives, and then we're like, now what? We still don't have the material we need to even really start rebuilding. I can't peel those posts. The bark is on there, which means those trees are really wet. How do we proceed? It's like, what do we do now? I feel like some big decisions need to be made, and that really can't be done. I don't feel like until Steve gets home. The only thing I think I can do is keep milling. Beyond that, I need to get more logs, and in a few more days, Steve will be home, and then we can make some decisions. These next few days initially felt that way too. Keep milling to make materials. It seems like a pretty easy and straightforward task, right? Trying to work with the logs that I brought up from the creek, the logs that were already down, although I got one joist out of there, it was just starting to feel more like a waste of my time. There just isn't enough material to work with on this log, but I still ended up trying it anyway. I still had confidence in those 2 larch logs though, so may as well give those a go. The electrics aren't working. The hydraulic is working, but the electrical connection, I guess, I don't know, the thing won't work. Try and fix this. Probably just a bad connection. I'm questioning if this is long enough or big enough in diameter. The more I look at this log, the more it lacks potential. I barely have it where it's usable, but it's quite the coloring too. But it's an option and beats rotting on the ground. I'm sure I can use it for something else, like everything I say. Right, looks like that. On the heavy side. Oh man. Going to get the other one now. Please, I need some satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. Sadly, I didn't even finish milling the second larch because not only is it far too beautiful to use in this application given the staining, I also don't think it's a good idea. I guess it's just in my nature to try and make something work, to use what we've got, but I suppose my inexperience is showing through here. Or maybe I'm just being naive, or maybe I'm just so focused on trying to be productive. You don't always have time to think everything through. Sometimes maybe I need to just stop and think and realize some things first. It's all a learning process, right? Add on a few other details. The weather has been quite challenging. It has been raining, snowing. It's been such a crazy spring weather that a lot of us are having. And we've had to just tend to other details of life going on around here at this place. But anyway, I guess I'm just starting to feel like I'm spinning my wheels on this project a little bit. Hello, good morning. Welcome back to another day at the sawmill. I took off the larch from yesterday that's got the staining in it, just in case I end up coming up with enough material for the joists and I can use that for something else. But if I have to use it, I will. If I don't have to, great. I took it off. I put on the big hemlock that is massive. It's a massive hemlock. It's 12 feet long. I need 10.5 feet by 11.75 and 5.75 or something like that. Definitely have enough to do that. I feel honestly exhausted mentally exhausted because there's so much ambiguity in this whole process that I just, every time I try to like move forward now, I mean, the weekend was great. I got all the cleanup done. I had like a list and I was able to like execute those tasks, and now I'm sort of stuck, and it's kind of exhausting trying to get unstuck, I guess, if you will. So I have a few things that I guess I know I can do. So I'm gonna mill that. I'm gonna mill one of the other ones that I got from his place the other day. The other one, unfortunately, the third one has like a spiral fracture. We thought it was only one plane. This kind of split down it, and then I could use the rest of the log, but it's actually this twisted crack all the way through the log, so the whole log I don't think is any good. But nonetheless, yesterday I went to see Phil and I took him some Kahlua, some tequila, and $100. Hopefully in the next few days he's gonna fill up his dump truck full of logs for some joist material and deliver that. So that is to say thank you. And I ended up staying and helping him work on his truck. He's in his 80s and he had his like head under the hood, struggling to get this bolt off to fix his pickup truck. And anyway, I stayed and helped him for like 3 hours. That felt good to be able to return a bit more of a favor for him. It's nice to, you know, scratch each other's back. I haven't milled a big log like this in a couple of years. I think the last log that I milled that was really big was that lodgepole pine like 2 falls ago. So this is roughly what I need out of this. 11.75 by 7.75. May as well put a fresh blade on. This whole time I'm like, oh, please don't screw this up. like to flip it back on the cut side now. This discussion probably isn't going to interest a lot of people, but for the people that do mill, you know, this is stuff you think about when you're milling. So there's this big gouge out of here, and my plan was to run it like 11 3/4 this way, but this chunk out of here affects that. My debate is, do I flip it on its cut side now, which makes a lot of sense in some ways. It's just that much more heavy to turn. If I take this next slab off, it's lighter and easier to move, but I don't want to get myself in trouble. So I think I should flip it, because I actually think I'm going to have to get it lengthwise this way instead, because of the way this is shaped like that now. I'm just sitting here like going back and forth, humming, hawing. Don't want to mess this up, you know? Okay. Ah, these gloves, useless. Slippery. Hemlock is really heavy, especially wet hemlock. And that's what this is. Trying to like turn this without getting the big bang drop on the other side. I just put a couple blocks of wood. Maybe that'll help. Oh, there we go. This is a heavy log.
I woke up in a king-size bed. Tick of the clock, a stranger to my left. The neighbors gave me a side eye, like I was blind. Oh yeah. 9 to 5 was my dad's advice. Don't think twice, I want the luxury life. My beauty can lose it, I'll use it. I'll take what I want. Oh yeah. A whole lot of ticking, but not enough time. A whole lot of work for a trophy wife like me. Oh. Slow traffic caused me stress. Show no panic, I'm just born in a dress. And I know now I'm older, I'm done. I'll do what I want. I'll do what I want. Spending a Sunday at the gym, trying to fit in. Counting the days until I meet my future husband. I try to be kind to myself. I said, girl, you got this. A whole lot of ticking, not enough time, not enough time. A whole lot of sweat for a trophy wife, The clock keeps ticking, still running out of time.
Do you guys like my amazing techniques? They work. I debated on what to do with this, if I should cut it into, it's like 2.5 inches thick, but like what do you do with it? So it's one less cut. So I have this massive slab now that weighs a ton. I don't think I can lift it. Oh. There it is. This middle one is not bad. It's actually maybe with them sitting here a little bit longer, they'll come off. This is easy. Like, I don't mind peeling the bark like this when it comes off in nice chunks. I could do all of them if they were all like that. But these ones are not like that. This slug is okay. You know, that's productive. Look at that. Yes. Steve is home now. I picked him up a couple of days ago, and last night he hooked up this log wizard on his chainsaw and he just got it going, used it briefly. I gave this a fair shot, but to be quite honest, that whole package was really quite heavy for me to manage for any length of time, and a fair amount of precision and accuracy is needed in order to not shred the log to bits beyond just removing the bark. So I went back to Old Faithful, the draw knife. Now, I've peeled quite a few logs in my day by now, but this experience takes the cake. I lost count at how many hours I spent working at this. And words don't really describe it, but maybe, just maybe, a song can. I wanna lay me down in a bed of fir bark, 'cause this job's made me feel like I was hit by a train. Oh, I wanna be done with this task, 'cause it's a pain in the ass. I wanna lay myself down on this bed of fir bark. Oh, you guys know, I just can't help myself. There were a couple of benefits to these seemingly wasted hours and energy chipping away at this bark. The first is obviously the song I created, which I sang to myself the whole time I was peeling them. But the second benefit is that naturally, near the end of peeling these logs, I had an idea. I wondered if cutting some grooves into the bark with the chainsaw wouldn't help the bark come off easier. And sure enough, my friends, it did. So if you find yourself in this exact same position, give that technique a try. Good morning. I don't even remember how many days ago it was that I put this on, but today is today, and I'm going to mill it this morning. I have repositioned it so that I can work with the defects that it has, I guess. So there's this, obviously, this big defect here, which takes away a lot of the wood. There's one there. And then down here, we have another chunk out of it. I got 2 deck joists, the 11-footers, 2 out of that log, plus a little bit of scrap wood, because who doesn't need more scrap lumber? So I think I have really 3 solid joists, 3 out of the 9 that I need. I have one more, this large one, that's not super great, but usable if we absolutely needed it, or it's a backup, or something like that. Phil is bringing more logs today. I went to his place yesterday and he had sorted the pile. We went through what he's gonna bring over. He's gonna do that, I think, today. But before I can start ripping more lumber out of Michify ink, girl's gotta do some cleanup. So I've just been taking off this, there was like cedar trim underneath this ledger board. And at first over here, I was like, okay, it doesn't look too bad. It's definitely had moisture. You can see that there's water staining, but it didn't look actively wet. And as I'm getting over here more, there are a lot of ants. There's actively wet looking wood. So I'm trying to take this apart so I can see more.